So let me first start by going through the tutorial. So we are going to set up our project. So first I'm going to click the link over here, go to the project selector page, and that will open up all my projects in GCP. And as you can see, I have a bunch of them. I'm going to create a new one, and I'm going to call it sample, and today's date 08/31. You can name it anything you want as long as it's identical, not identical, it's unique. Okay, so I've created my, it's still creating the project. Okay, so and it's been created and I'm in the project website. Let me go back to the tutorial and then let's enable the API. So I'm going to select my sample 083 which I just created and continue. And as you know, it might take a little bit longer, so let me move it over there so you can see. Okay, so API is enabled, so we'll say continue, and we should be back in the project website, and we are right now. As you can see, that's the sample project we created. So we'll go back over there. We can either click it from here, or you can select it from there. Either way, I will go to the clouds, the storage. So first storage, browser, and I'm going to create a bucket. So I'm gonna create a bucket. I'm going to name it sample 08/31, same as the project name. And I'm going, my region would be South Carolina, US East one, and then I can continue, or I can press the create button and it should create a bucket for me. Once I create a bucket, I'm going to create a folder in it, and I'm going to call it input. So I have now an input folder inside this folder. So in this folder, first I'm going to upload one file, our Python file. So I need to go back to where you stored that word count Python, that file. I'll open that up and I'll upload that, and as you can see, it's been uploaded. I'll go inside the input method, input folder, and over there I'm going to upload the text file, and it's gonna take a little bit longer because it's 100 megabyte and I don't have a really fast upload speed. So let's wait and see how long it takes. Okay, so we uploaded the text file inside the input folder in our bucket. So I can go back to the bucket to double check. Yes, so the Python is inside our bucket, which we called it sample 08/31, and we made an input folder. Inside that input folder we uploaded the text file. Now I'm going to create a data proc cluster. And it seems like it's a little bit slow today. Okay, so there is none, so I'm going to create one. I can call it anything I want. the region I'm going to select is going to be US East Coast 1. And for the question, I think the third question, we are going to select single node, but for the other we are going to select standard. So single node, 1 master 0 worker, so I'm actually running only in one machine, and I don't have to do anything over here. I just say create, and that cluster will be created and it will start running. So we can wait over here. As you can see, it's showing provisioning, so it will show running or available only then, and there should be a green symbol next to it that will show that this cluster is running in the cloud, and only then we can start our program to run. So let's wait. And now, as you can see, it's showing running, and it's showing that there's green tick symbol. At any given time, if you wanna start, stop, or resume this cluster, you can always go to compute engine and VM instances, and it should show the cluster currently running, and you can select that and you can stop that. So remember, once you are done with that, you need to stop it. Okay, you need to stop the cluster so that it doesn't eat up all the free time that they gave you. So we are going to go back to Dataproc. So I have it over here, so I'm going to click on that, or you can just search Dataproc over here. I'm going to click the cluster, and this is the screen that shows what the cluster is doing, what the CPU utilization is, and everything. So we are going to submit a job, and whatever the ID is, we are going to select Python Spark, and our main Python file is, you need to write it as GS, and then the bucket name, our bucket name is sample 0831, and the name of our Python file is word-count.python. so gs / the name of your bucket and the name of your Python program. That Python program takes 2 arguments, so we need to assign those arguments over here. The arguments are, first one is where the input is and where it should create the output. So we have to again write it like that, gs, the name of the bucket, so which is sample 0831, and input, and don't forget to give the trailing slash. So this is where the input is. So it can have only one file, it can have 10 million files over there. The program will take one at a time. Okay, so that's the input, that's the first argument for this particular Python file that shows where the input is. You need to press an enter key, and then you need to explicitly tell it where to create the output. So again you have to say gs and then the name of your bucket 0831 and then create a folder called output where it will output the whatever that program creates. And again don't forget to put the trailing slash and then press and enter key. So once that is done, you don't have to put anything else. You say create. As soon as you create that, it will start running. As you can see, it's running. You can click on that and it will show what it's doing. So as you can see, it will show you what it's doing. It's running the application. So it opened the file, that input file. And the program finished running and it created output. So we'll go back and it shows that it took 40 seconds. That's the time you need to monitor to analyze what happens when you're running in more than one machine, and what happens when you kill one of the machine, how fault tolerant the cloud is. Even if you kill one machine, your program still finish running and all of that thing. So along with monitoring the time, you need to also take a screenshot of the monitoring page where it shows how much, see, a spike in the CPU utilization, so it went up to 80%, close to maybe 73% of CPU utilization, 73.26% of the CPU utilization. So take a screenshot of that. So once you're done running your experiment, don't forget to go into computing engine, go to VM instances and select your virtual machine, select the cluster and then stop it. And then it will say, do you want to stop? And you say stop, and then it will show that green symbol will go away. Until it goes away, make sure you double check that it's actually stopped. So wait a little more just to check whether it's completely stopped. Otherwise it might be running on the background and eating up all your free minutes. Okay, so it shows that yep, stopping, and see, as you can see, it's not green anymore.